What's up, everybody? My name's Parasite. Welcome back to the Jose Mourinho Challenge with Sporting. Today we have Bodo Glimt in the Europa Conference League second knockout round. This is a one-legged tie, so win or go home. We then play Benfica in the Taca de Portugal semifinal first leg. So that's huge. But before we get into that, if you've ever had any interest in American football, maybe you like American football and just haven't seen it yet, there was a game this past Sunday night that, like I said, if you have any interest in the sport or want to see a game of it to try to get into it, that's the game to watch. It is the best game I have ever watched in my entire life. There are people that are many years older than me that agree it's the best game they've ever seen in their entire life. If you ever want to see it get into the sport, that is the game to watch. I'm going to link it in the description. It's going to be a highlights package the NFL puts together that they put out for every... This is the playoffs right now, what's going on in the NFL. We're in the playoffs. So it's a big, like this Bodo Glimt match, win or go home game. And it was crazy. Crazy game. I'm not going to say who wins, but it's the best game I've ever seen. So the highlights of that will be in the description. If you can find the full game, definitely watch the full game. It's a better watch to see the whole thing from start to finish, but if not, the highlight package does kind of do it justice a little bit as well. So enough of that. In terms of since I last saw you, it's actually been going pretty well. I don't know. Up and down. Results have been pretty good. So the last one was that Guimarães match in the Taca de Portugal 6th round that sent us to the semifinal. Since then, we played Guimarães again and beat them 1-0 this time at home in the league. Thiago Tomas scoring the goal. I've kind of made a switch at striker. We looked at the Data Hub last episode, and I don't think I was giving Thiago Tomas enough credit for what he's been able to do in the league. So, and I think Gareth Bale hasn't been good enough. I don't think he could be the starter for us next season if we're going to continue as a team and continue to get better. He can't be our starting striker. He does not score enough. It's that simple. He has good games. He plays well almost every game he plays, but he is the striker. And without, all of our other players scoring consistently, which they're not, he needs to score, and he cannot do that. So I also don't think I can pay $30,000 a week to have him as a backup striker. I'm not sure Tomas is the answer yet. He's got a lot of season to prove it to me, but so I'm probably not going to be playing Gareth Bale very much this season, so he doesn't get his 20 games and doesn't get his extra year. This will probably be his last year at the club. So you'll be seeing a lot more of Thiago Tomas. After the Guimarães match, we played in the Allianz Cup Semifinal against Benfica, and we lost 3-1, but it was actually a very even match. 3-1 flattered them a lot. Each team had about 1.5 XG. It was very, very evenly contested. They were just clinical when we were not. We have struggled to be clinical this entire stretch. Defensively, we've been pretty amazing. We've gone, 5 matches in a row, 5 of 7 without conceding a goal. But we haven't scored more than 2 goals since the 9-0 thrashing of Vizela on October 30th. We have not scored more than 3 goals. And it's not like we're not creating. We're creating so many chances every single game. During this stretch, we only outperformed our XG once. Every other game, we underperformed our XG. So we're creating a bunch of chances, but Gareth Bale, when he played, he's not getting it done. Tomas, again, he's scoring some few goals, but not enough. He's not scoring consistently enough for me to have a whole lot of faith in him, unless he really picks it up the second half of the season. But against Boavista, 2-0 win. Pedro Gonzalez finally gets back on the score sheet. He's actually picked it up a little bit recently, so he gets a brace. Nacional, 2-1. Ignacio, Tomas scoring the 87th minute. Gil Vicente, 2-0. Pedro Gonzalez again. Douglas Costa getting a goal. Estol Praia, 2-0. Escaio, Tomas. I said this is a stretch we should be winning every single game. We nearly did. A 0-0 draw with Rio Ave, pretty disappointing. Again, we created a bunch of chances. Tomas played a 6.1. That is why I can't trust him as a starting striker if I want to win a Champions League. He is just too inconsistent. If he's not scoring, like the reason I got Bale is because I thought he'd be able to score decently, and when he's not scoring, I knew he could be an effective part of the team. Tomas, he can't pass. When he doesn't score, he's the worst player on the pitch. So it's just too up and down. Moritz, 2-0. Tomas does score, 59th minute. Paulinho in the 91st. And Santa Clara, 1-0. Tomas again. He's getting on the score sheet. But, I mean, no one else is, for the most part. We've missed, like, 2 or 3 penalties in this stretch. I don't think we actually scored one. We had, like, 3 penalties. I think we missed them all. Tabata missing one. I don't remember who missed all the other ones, but the wingers, obviously, as you've seen, have not scored, except for that one Douglas Costa goal. The wingers are not scoring. Gonzalez, he scored a few. He scored 3 goals in this stretch, but if he's going to be our leading goal scorer, he needs to score more than that. He's not. Tomas, very inconsistent. But we're still winning games, so I can't be too upset. For this Bodo Glimt match, actually before that, going back to Taca de Portugal, it is pretty unfortunate we got Benfica, but after we saw who was left in the tournament, it was pretty obvious we're going to face Benfica at one point, because, in saying that, if we do get past Benfica, it'd be a complete bottle job if we don't win it. Because the other 2 teams are both lower division sides. A 2nd division Ferenc and a 3rd division Caldas. Looks like Ferenc is going to pull it off after a 3-0 home win. I doubt Caldas in the 3rd division can do better than that. So we probably will be playing Ferenc if we make it there. But yeah, we have to win it. If we make it there, we have to win it. But we have to get past Benfica first. But before that, we've got Bodo Glimt. So the squad have gone for that. Let's do the opposition instructions. Pretty strong. Thiago Tomas up top. Adan, the normal back line. Adan, Aguilar, Caceres, Inacio, Mendez. I've looked through this squad a little bit as we're getting kind of towards the business end of the season, where I need to improve for next season. Caceres, he's been solid for us, but he's not good enough. He has a 6.94 average rating, the worst in the team. I think it's clear he's a good backup player, but he can't be an every game starter. Even his attributes say differently, I think, but his play, it's obvious. He's not good enough. Tejas Nunez and Paulinho, as long as they stay at the club, they're going to be our midfield pairing for now. Nunez is a guy I might consider replacing at some point, but for now, he's our starting deep line playmaker. Wing, we've had a lot of injuries. Douglas Costa has been injured, basically, except for that one game he came back. I think he's missed every single other game. He had a 3 or 4 week injury, and then he came back, had that one game, then immediately got injured again, and has another 2-week injury. So he's been out for almost every single game. Kolo Muani broke his lower arm, I believe, and he's out. He's been out like 2 months. It'll be 2 months by the time he gets back. And then Nuno Santos, also injured. He's returning soon, so that's good, but he's missed quite a bit of football recently, so we've kind of had to rely on Gonzalo Plata a little bit, and he's actually been good. He hasn't got a lot of game time this year because we have all those guys in front of him. I'm actually considering him over Kolo Muani because Kolo Muani recently has not been good. He started off the season pretty well, but what Plata's done for us recently, I mean, he might take over his spot as kind of like the 4th option. He's going to start on the right, Tabata on the left, Gonzalez behind Tomas, Bale on the bench. I don't even put him on the bench for league games anymore because if we get a striker to Tomas, I don't want one of those appearances that Bale gets being off the bench. If he's gonna make an appearance that counts towards that 20 games, I'm gonna get good value for it. He's gonna get the start. So, but these matches don't count in the cups or in Europe because it's only league matches. So he's on the bench for this one. I still think I can't bench Tomas. He can score. Like, he scored more goals in the past month than Gareth Bale scored in like 4 months. So I think it's pretty obvious. I still have to go with Tomas. Bench, pretty strong. Vinagre has to make the bench kind of as a backup left winger because literally we have no one else. I don't know what I'd do if we had another winger injury. Like, I mean, I'd bring in Vinagre or Escaio on the wings, but I'd have literally no one for the bench. It'd have to be some youth player because, I mean, Castillo can kind of play right wing. Maybe he could come in, be an option. Tavar, hopefully, luckily Santos is coming back, so I don't think we're going to have to get to that point, but yeah, a lot of injuries, but we fought through it. We're getting results. Now we need to get a big one in Europe. This is a big match. Win or go home. I think we need to show everyone that their recent praise is justified. Go out there and put on a show. Do you hope your team can produce today? I think we've had a good build for this match, and we look primed to perform. How's the mood in the camp right now? We've got a great bunch of players. They're confident and have great self-belief. When two so similar teams play like this against each other, what'll make the difference? It comes down to quality of execution. We need to do everything right if we're to win. I'm surprised they actually say we're closely matched. I mean, obviously the Portuguese league is a bigger league than the Norwegian league. Obviously, Bodo Glimt, I think, are the best team in the Norwegian league right now. We're obviously fighting to be the best team in Portugal. I feel like we should have an advantage, but maybe it'll be closer than I might have thought. We do get it at home, which is huge. So we have that advantage, but that doesn't mean anything really at this point. Like, I haven't noticed a huge home or away difference in this team so far. They don't seem to be more clinical at home or anything like that. It just seems to be kind of the same thing no matter where we're at. Bodo Glimt have absolutely dominated possession at the start of this game, but they have not created anything with it. They have one shot. We have all the chances. I believe we have 6 shots, 3 or 4 on target. So, I mean, possession-wise, we've not been the better team, but in execution and actual performance, we're the better team right now. We need to take advantage of it. We've struggled to score goals. We've got a decent amount of chances. Our problem this year has been putting them away, and I'm not sure if that's going to count. I think if anyone was offside, it was Tabata. They actually are saying if Tomas straight offside. I'm pretty sure Tomas was onside. He looked pretty close, pretty clearly onside. And the goal does count. I wasn't sure about at the back post whether Tabata was off. I was pretty comfortable that Tomas was on. Yeah, Tabata clearly on. Tomas actually was a little bit closer than maybe I gave it credit for, but Tomas gets another goal. And I thought we were about to go into halftime, but we have a highlight in the 45th minute, and it could be us. Palhinha, a good header away from goal. And then we run into a defender and give the ball away. Usually these highlights are kind of nothing highlights, but, you never know. Starting from the back, looking a bit, dangerous tackle, but we do get the ball. Pedro Gonzalez, you have to score this. Tomas becomes the assister, which, that might be one of his first couple assists. I don't know if he has many assists this year. That might be one of his 2 only assists this year. He gets the assist, though, and Pedro Gonzalez recently has struggled when in those one-on-one situations. Does not make a mistake this time. Rolls it past the goalkeeper. It's 2-0. Great start to this game. We've dominated the chances. I don't care about possession. We have dominated the chances, and we finally put a couple of them away. We're ahead on the scoreboard, and we definitely deserve to be, based on the amount of chances created. Well done out there so far. First highlight of the second half comes 2 minutes in, maybe 3. 48th minute, and it's going to be a free kick for Pedro Gonzalez. Tomas, he gets the rebound, though. I don't think there should be any question to that one. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't think he was offside. Probably should have scored that first attempt. He is onside. He looked pretty obvious, but, keeper makes a great stop, but Tomas reacts first. I've asked for him to be a little bit more consistent scoring goals. He scored 2 today. 65th minute, about time to make some subs, but we'll see what happens from this highlight. Mendez, back post to Caceres. He does win the header. This one, I'm not sure about. The other 2, I felt pretty confident we were onside. I'm not actually sure who got the last touch on that even, so I don't know. This will be interesting. It will be given, so it's 4-0. Yeah, I can take off the stars now. This game is over. Caceres actually winning that header is pretty impressive, and it's not Nunez. Was it Nunez? I think it was Ignacio. I think Ignacio gets his head on it. He gets the goal. Let's see. Who needs to come off? Tomas, he's been the best player on the pitch, but he's also, on a hat trick, but I don't think I care. I'm probably going to take him and Gonzalez off. Mendez probably not far behind. Tabata's pretty tired, but if I'm going to leave anyone on, it's probably Gonzalo Plata. So Gareth Bale will get an appearance, and Abisher will get an appearance. And since Abisher's in here, I prefer to play Bale in a poacher role. Even though he's not scoring, maybe this is his chance. He hasn't really gotten much of a chance to play these kind of weaker teams in Europe. So this is his chance to prove something to me. Highlight here in the 70th minute, and it's actually going to start with Bodo Glimt for one of the first times all game. Going down this left-hand side. looking to put in a cross. We've been pretty good from balls in the box so far. Not that time, though. Nuno Mendes misses it at the back post. Never should be missing that. Nuno has to do way better there. I know he's not an aerial presence, but still. Back post crosses like that, you can't be losing that. Just completely mistimes it, and they headed in at the back post. I think we're still okay. There's 15 minutes left. We have 3-goal advantage. We've not conceded more than 1 goal in like 2 months. Yeah, Nuno Mendes is going to come off. He's our most important player on the pitch. I mean, Jalpolini is up there, but Nuno Mendes I think is harder to replace. Inacio also up there, but Vinagre, he's on the bench, so he's going to come on. He's actually not been terrible recently, so I still think I'm going to look to replace him next season because he's on over 30K a week, and he's the worst backup on the team. So I probably want to get somebody in cheaper, but we have to sell him first. Now let's just win this match. 1 minute left of stoppage time, and it's going to be a win. 4-1, fully deserved. We were the much better team. 2 more XG than they had. They had 2 shots on target, scored 1 of them. So 61% possession, though. Like I said, do not care. Do not care a single bit. They did nothing with their possession. We were just progressive and attacking, and just that's how I want to play. I don't want to hold on to the ball. I want to attack you every single time we touch the ball, and it shows in the chances we created. 15 shots, 9 on target, decent XG, 2 clear-cut chances, 5 half chances. That's how you score goals. And defend at the same time. That's about as good of a win as you're likely to see. Everyone contributed in both in defense and attack. Possession could have been better, but when we had it, we made it count. That's what I love to see. There are things we can work on. There's always things we can work on. But I have to be happy with what you did out there. You've been on a good run lately, but that was something else. Everyone's playing well, giving 100%, and we deserve to win this match. Was Thiago Tomas frustrated by your decision to take him off when he was on a hat trick? I want to make sure he's given enough rest so as to avoid any potential injury issues. His long-term availability is vital to us. You only had 39% possession today, but still came away with a win. Was that something you went into the game intending to do? The only statistic that matters here is that we scored more goals than they did. Good win. We are on to the next round. There are some big teams left in this competition, though. It could be difficult. If we actually go and look at the teams left, so I don't think all the games have been played yet, but we actually got pretty lucky with the draw. Like, the easier teams that I feel confident we can beat kind of got each other. Malmo got Zagreb go through. Moscow get Maritimo. Moscow might be a little bit tough, but I feel confident against them. Trabzonspor got Rapid Vienna. They got through on penalties. Obviously, we got Bodo Glimt. But the big teams got each other. Sociedad got Tottenham. Huge to have one of those teams knocked out. Fiorentina, Galatasaray. I mean, obviously, I'm more worried about Fiorentina, but Galatasaray are a decent team as well. Nice, Shakhtar. Everton, I mean, they could have gotten a harder draw. They get Copenhagen. I expect Everton to go through that. I would have liked to have had Everton knocked out. But, I mean, I think we got about as good of a draw as we could ask for. And that was about as good a win as we could ask for. I wanted goals, and we scored goals for fun. We made our chances count. Tomas, 2 goals and an assist. Very good. Now, we have to do it against Benfica. They're obviously a better team than Bodo Glimt. We know them well, and it's going to be away from home this first leg, so I don't expect a repeat of the 5-0. But based on that, if we can keep that form going, I give us a pretty good chance of getting a good result in that leg. And we are back for the Benfica match in the Taca de Portugal placard semi-final first leg. We played Portimonense in between in the league, and really I just wanted to keep our attacking efficiency and goal scoring going, partially for the season as a whole, but mostly just for this Benfica match. If we have a chance in this Benfica match, we can't be coming off a game where we struggled to, create chances, or even if we created chances, struggled to actually convert them into goals. And we did well. We had that big win against Bodo Glimt, 4-1, and then we just put 6 past Portimonense. We are back into some goal-scoring form, kind of out of nowhere. So, maybe it's the luck of being on camera, I don't know, but 6 goals. Thiago Tomas getting a hat trick. Vinagre having to start. I did a little bit of rotation because this match of Benfica is coming up, so I wanted to rotate a little bit. Vinagre gets a goal. Paulinho comes in and gets a goal. Segovia starts and gets a goal. In terms of rotation, I mean, the back four is almost the same. Just Segovia comes in. Bergantia comes in. Abisher comes in. Like I said, Vinagre at left back. But I felt like I had to keep Thiago Tomas in there. Obviously, it's a league match, so I didn't want to play Gareth Bale. Paulinho was also tired, so I felt like I had to go with Thiago Tomas, and he responded with a hat trick. That's exactly what I want to see going into this Benfica match. If we have a chance, it's probably Thiago Tomas scoring goals. And in the future, if we have a chance, it might rely on Thiago Tomas scoring goals. I've had a lot of doubts in him this season. Obviously, he didn't start the season well in the league. He scored in the Cup and in the Europa Conference League, but I kind of brushed that off as just poor competition because he wasn't doing it in the league. I gave him a few chances, and like I said, if he's not scoring, he's bad. And he wasn't scoring, and he was bad. And when I gave Bale chances, he wasn't getting goals either, but he was at least playing well, and so I think I gave him a little bit more of a leash. Maybe more than I should have, because since we've made Thiago Tomas the starting striker and given him every game, he's responded with goals. And because of that, I'm probably going to look to try to extend him if I can. He doesn't want to sign a new contract now, but I still don't know if I trust him to be our starting striker in the Champions League, but I think he's earned the chance. Obviously, I want to win the Champions League as fast as I can, but I kind of want to do right by my players. And Thiago Tomas, with the amount of goals he's gotten for this season in all competitions and how he's actually started to score in the league, he deserves the chance in the Champions League. We should be getting Champions League football next season, and he's probably going to be our starting striker for it. I might look to bring in somebody. If Bale's going to be leaving, I might look to bring in somebody else. I'll have to bring in somebody else because I'll also be looking to move on Paulinho because he's on 28.5K. It's a little high even for a backup, so I might be looking to move him on, but I'll try to bring in somebody that can at least provide some competition. But I think I'm going to go with Tomas. I think from now on, unless he proves that he can't do it, I'm going to give him a chance. And fortunately, he's also going to be joined by a couple other players for quite a while. We've signed a couple big contracts, both in their length, their wage value, and the players who signed them. Some big players that we are looking to get on new deals. We tried to get them signed earlier. They wanted far too much money. But like I thought what might happen over the course of the season, as interest in them wanes, as we started to do better and they become happier at the club, I thought they might be willing to take a little bit lower deals. Pedro Gonzalez has signed a new deal. Earlier on in the season, he was wanting $90K a week. He was starting at $90K a week. And I just knew from that point, I couldn't get down to anywhere reasonable. Our current highest earner before these contracts was Inacio on 46.5. And obviously, his deal is amazing. 46.5, decent wage for a player that's very good and very young. And it's like an 8-year deal. These ones aren't that long. Their wages demands started higher than Inacio did. So I knew if I was going to get them under the same kind of deal, it'd have to be super high wages, and I just couldn't justify it right now. So I believe they're both 4-year deals. Pedro Gonzalez on 55K a week, so he's our new highest earner. But if we're going to progress and be a team that can challenge for the Champions League, our wage structure is going to have to grow a little bit. Benfica pays some big wages, definitely bigger than what we've got, so we have to kind of try to match them. I'm hoping the board kind of trusts me and gives me the money to work with from here on out. We've got a decent amount of money available because of all the transfer business I've done and all the deals I've been able to make. The players have been able to get off the wages. We have some budget available that allowed us to do these deals. And hopefully this is just the beginning. So Gonzalez, 55K a week, new highest earner. And then Paulinho, the other one, 49K a week, our second highest earner now. But I have said it all season long, and I don't think I've really changed my mind that I think these two players are good enough to be starters in a Champions League winning squad. Paulinho has had a lot of interest towards the end of the transfer window. I think it was Man City that was just all over him. They came in with multiple offers, and he didn't really get upset. I turned them all down, and he was okay with it. And that's how I knew I wanted to keep him. He wants to be here. He wanted to sign a new contract. And I even considered the sale. I looked through the scouting list to see if I could actually get in a capable replacement that maybe is not as good as now, but definitely could be as good in the future. Or maybe, a cheap option on somebody that is kind of undervalued, that is really good. I don't think I give him enough credit for how good João Palhinha is. I think he can get in that Man City squad. And so I think he could be a huge player for us. So Gonzalez and Palhinha, new long-term deals to pair with Inacio. Now we just need Nuno Mendes. He's not willing to enter negotiations right now. Again, with us hopefully winning the league, maybe making some noise in the Europa Conference League, maybe we can kind of turn him around. He currently thinks, I believe he says we're not at a level up to his ambitions. Not playing at a level matching his own ambitions, which I kind of understand. But hopefully that can change. Hopefully we can get him happy and sign him on a long-term deal, because he is, at least in terms of potential, maybe even in terms of where he's at now, he's the best player in the team. He's the best player on our team. Long-term, short-term. We need to get a long-term deal. We've got until 2025, so decent contract for now, a couple more years. But I want to sign him long-term, and Tomas, I think I want to sign long-term. He's also not willing to enter negotiations because he's got some interest in him still, and I've told him $54 million, I'll sell him. Teams towards the end of the transfer window actually started to get close. It got up to like the low 40s, and has kept just declining, and they kept growing higher and higher. Fortunately, they eventually stopped coming in, and they never got close to that 54, so he's not upset for now. Hopefully we can keep him. Hopefully over the course of the next couple of months we can get him on a new deal. I'm very happy to have Gonzalez, Palhinha, and Inacio tied down. 3 obvious core players, long-term deals. Super happy. So now Benfica. After all that, the Benfica match. This is a big match. Away from home in the first leg. I've gone with our best squad. The wingers, obviously, I'd still say these wingers are our best 2 options. Douglas Costa has not been good. He's just not been good. He's been one of the worst players. Him and Caceres, both under a 7 rating. 2 of the only players in the squad that have played matches that are under a 7 rating. So I'm very upset with Douglas Costa being kind of a fail signing. He looks like he should be good, but some players just don't do it. He just doesn't do it. So Nuno Santos is about to start on the wings. Gonzalez, Tomas, Palhinha, Nunez. Normal back line. Strong options on the bench. Gonzalo Plata is now a bench option, which is, I think, good, even though has been good enough. I think I still prefer him as a bench option at worst, or at best, I guess. But everyone else, starters on the bench. Bale on the bench if we need him. I don't know if he's a very good bench option considering he doesn't score. And, if he comes in late, he's not going to have much of a chance to really be a big part of the game. So, I don't know what he brings off the bench, but it's still Gareth Bale. In the end of the day, it's still Gareth Bale. So, yeah, hopefully we can get a good win. We've scored goals recently. Defensively, we've still been really good. Like I said, I don't expect another 5-0. But we were the better team the last time we played them in a neutral location. They got the win, but I still kind of favor us in this match. The pundits may not believe in us, but the fans do. So go and do them proud. We know what happened the last time we were at this ground. We know what we're capable of. Believe in yourselves. Believe in the man next to you. And let's go show the world what we're capable of. Do you think the first goal here will be crucial? I'm hoping for a strong start and a positive approach, sure. Both teams carry some good recent form into this match. How confident are you? It's a big challenge, but hopefully one we're up for. Let's see their form. Pretty good. 1 loss. They have Diego Costa up top. It's kind of ridiculous. Dumfries, who we considered signing, or we tried to sign, but our form, 1 draw, but 4 straight wins, including some pretty good performances in the last 2 games, scoring quite a few goals, only conceding 1. We've conceded 2 goals in the last month and a half. This it. We haven't played Benfica. We played some lower league. Oh my. No sendings off the whole time, that whole month where we're playing bad teams, where we could probably get through with it. But the first time we face a good team, a good Portuguese team, Aguilar has to go 2-footed, dude, and get sent off in 5 minutes. Unbelievable. And what change do I make? Like, Gonzalez is one of our best players. Tomas is on some crazy form. I can't really take either of them off. Like, Gonzalez can play center mid, right? A little bit. I think I'm going to take Santos off because he can't play really anywhere but the wings. And Tabata can play attacking mid. Is the game still going on? What the heck? Tabata can play attacking mid. So I think I'm going to move Gonzalez back. Bring something. I don't think I want to play them both at attacking mid. Santos is going to come off for a right. Obviously, I need a right back. Skyro's going to come in. I guess something like this. I could play our defensive midfield a little bit higher, but I don't know if I want to do that because we kind of need to be defensive. I don't really want to play two attacking mids because, like I said, I want to be a little bit more defensive. But Gonzalez is not really like I guess he can be like a playmaker from here. Change Nunez's role because he's not a box-to-box midfielder. He's obviously not a ball winner. I guess I can play him like center mid support. Though you want him to be attacking, but Tabata, I guess attacking mid support. Mendez can go on support. Make sure Skyo's on support for now. Actually, saying that, let's move over to our more defensive counter-attacking tactics. So they both go on defend. Go to cautious. Tabata is still going to play attacking mid support. Gonzalez center mid support. Hopefully we can luck a goal. I don't know. I don't know what to say after that. So frustrating. Not much time later, and we have another highlight to throw in for Benfica. There might be a lot of highlights in this match, and they're probably all going to look like that. Of course, they need the help. They already have a sending off, so they need to score a freaking screamer against us. Unbelievable. Obviously, part of that is because we're down a man, that no one is even close to João Mario. But, come on. From here on, this is all about trying to concede the least amount possible. I'd give us about a 1% chance to score. All right, the tie's over. I think the tie is over. 33 minutes, they're already 2-0 up. I was going to say, if we could just hold it to 1 or 2 goals, we've got another leg at home. But 2 goals after 32 minutes. We've only seen Benfica highlights. I think the tie is over already. Obviously, they still need to score. I think just 2, we could survive that. But I don't think it's just going to be 2. Another highlight in the 40th minute. It's nearly a goal from Diego Costa. Fortunately, he heads it over. But it looks like we're going to go into halftime. 2-0 down. And we've literally not had a shot. There's a pretty good reason for it. But we've not had a shot. And they've just been destroying us in every phase. As they should. They're obviously... They're paying a lot more for wages than we are. They're a much better team. They should be a much better team. And we're down a man because freaking Aguilar is an absolute idiot. You have the chance to go out there and cause an almighty shock to our rivals in the second half. We have nothing to lose here. Just go out there and play the game you love and have some fun. Ruben getting sent off so early in such a vital match against one of our biggest rivals is absolutely unacceptable. You need to apologize to every single one of your teammates because you've let them all down. It's just going to be highlight after highlight. That's what it was the first half. Like I said, I don't expect any different this one. This is the third highlight of the second half. We're 15 minutes in. And it's the first highlight for Benfica. And that is tie over. We are out of the Taca de Portugal. Benfica, Ruben Aguilar has single-handedly handed them the trophy. They're facing a second division club in the next leg. If they lose, dissolve them as a club. It's over. We are not coming back from this. I know we beat them 5-0, but I don't see any plausible way we come back from this. This game just keeps getting better. Not only do I have to have a sending off in the 5th minute, but the player before the game that I was saying the best player on the team, our most important player going forward, he has to get injured. He just has to. Maybe I should have taken him off because this game is pointless from here on out. Literally pointless, but this is one of the worst games I've ever experienced. 80th minute. Is it possible to find a player, like, wages he's already been paid? Like, I don't know if you find, like, his next 2 weeks' wages. Can I find him, like, every single penny he's ever earned from this club and will ever earn from this club? Because it's 4. That, in my whole time playing Football Manager, that might legitimately be the worst sending off in terms of the 5th minute in a Taca de Portugal match against your biggest rivals. That might be the dumbest sending off. Not 2 yellows either. A straight red. The dumbest sending off I've ever experienced. After that, we had 0 chance. 0. Tabata. Nothing highlight for us, I'm sure. It's probably going to be a counterattack and a goal for them, knowing how this game has gone. Pedro Gonzalez, 2 shots. I mean, of course, they have to block him up. They have to clear 2 shots off the line because, you know, we're down a man. We lost our best player. Everything's going so rosy. Next, Pedro Gonzalez and Thiago Tomas are both going to get taken out in the same play. They're going to take each other out, injure each other, 5 months for each of them. That's just written in the stars. Corner. All right, I'm going to take one of them off, actually, because there's actually a decent chance that happens. Last change. I mean, who's more important? Tomas or Gonzalez? Right now, the form he's been in, I think it's Thiago Tomas. Gonzalez hasn't been scoring. He's been doing all right, but he hasn't been scoring. Tomas is the only consistent scorer in this team right now. Bale's going to come on. I don't give a single hoot what role he plays because it doesn't matter. What if we had 2 shots this game? Maybe 3 because I think we just had 2 blocked. 7 shots actually, but 0 on target. We're going to lose 4-0. And that, like I said, it was tied over at 3. It's tied obviously over now. Ruben Aguilar has caused his teammates, not just the team, like, not just me, his teammates. He has let them all down. And he has single-handedly lost us a chance at a Taca de Portugal final. It's not nice to lose to a rival, but I thought you gave it your best in challenging circumstances. We started this match off, and I believed in every single one of you, but after 5 minutes, you were dealt an impossible hand. But you didn't quit. You still fought to the very end. And for that, I'm proud of you. Tell us, Ryan, what happened out there today? Do you have eyes? Ruben Aguilar got sent off after 5 minutes. That's what happened. Today's 4-0 defeat must really hurt everyone in the team. What was your reaction to such a heavy defeat? I have to look beyond the result and take what positives I can from this game. I mean, I can't, like, this result literally means nothing. Nothing can be learned from this game. We beat them 5-0 when we were at our best. Sending off after 5 minutes against a team as ridiculous as Benfica, it could have been worse than 4-0. It could have been worse. I think the fact that they only let it be 4, we can be proud. I mean, it could have been very bad. That's just a ridiculous team. And at our best, it's hard. Down a man, it's impossible. Nuno Mendes out 3 weeks. That's awesome. Just a little bit more salt poured on the wound. Escaio 4 to 7 days, so not bad. Aguilar banned for 1 match. You think? Do I appeal? No. Do I give him 2 weeks' wages? Fine. Hell yes. Idiot. Well, I mean, I guess that means we don't have to come back for the second leg. It was actually going to be a little bit interesting because we have some big matches coming up in April. We've got both legs of the Europa Conference League quarterfinal. We've got, obviously, the second leg, which, like I said, we don't need to show now because I don't think it's possible to come back. We beat them 5-0, but that was kind of a fluke result. I think I knew that when it happened. So it'd have to be just a complete bottle job from Benfica for us to have any chance of getting maybe 3 goals back. But yeah, that one I've written off. But Porto coming up as well in the league, that's huge. So next episode will be Porto, and I'll probably do the second leg of the quarterfinal. When do we know the draw? So we saw the other teams. So the other teams have played. Sociedad beat Tottenham. That's pretty big. I thought Tottenham were probably the best team left in the competition. So Sociedad knocked them out. Huge. Sociedad's good too. Fiorentina knocked out to Galatasaray. That's huge. Nice beat Shakhtar, and unsurprisingly, Everton beat Copenhagen. The draw is on the 10th, so a couple days. When is our next game? It's on the 12th. So I'm going to advance to the 10th, and let's do the draw for the quarterfinal of the Europa Conference League. All right, time for the Europa Conference League draw. Hopefully we get an easy draw here. I mean, Zagreb would be ideal. Easiest team left, definitely Zagreb. Probably then Trabzonspor, and then, I don't know, between Spartak and Galatasaray, I'm not sure kind of what quality they're both at. I say they're pretty close to even there. All the other ones would be pretty tough. Of the hard ones, though, of Everton, Sociedad, and Nice, I'd probably rather have Nice. I think they're definitely the weakest of the 3. I just don't want Everton. Everton are probably, well, actually, I think Sociedad actually might be the best team left. They beat not Juventus. They beat Tottenham. They're probably the best team left in the competition. I do not want to face them. I don't really want to face Everton either. Ideal if they played each other. Let's get into it. We're the first out of the hat. Give us Zagreb. Please, after what we just went through, do us a little bit of a favor and give us Zagreb. Let's go! Redemption. That is what we deserved. After that, after what I just experienced, I deserve that. I deserve that. We have Dynamo Zagreb over 2 legs in the quarterfinal. Now, if you want to put a little cherry on top, give me Sociedad versus Everton. Spartak Moscow. Get Nice. Still on the table. Trabzonspor. Please, Galatasaray. If this is Galatasaray, this is the perfect draw. Ask and you shall receive. Literally, we couldn't have asked for better. Literally. Couldn't have asked for better. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think that's about perfect. Everton face Sociedad. One of them will be knocked out. We get, obviously, the easiest team left in the competition. Wow. We better not screw this up. Ruben Aguilar, if he plays, better not get sent off after 5 minutes. But we should be heading on to the next round of the Europa Conference League. And with one of those teams knocked out, I think we have a decent shot of winning it right now. Sociedad Everton. Huge. Absolutely huge. Let's make sure nothing was rearranged. I don't think it was. I think just some other league game was. Yeah, still Zagreb, Porto, Zagreb. Like I said, I don't think I need to show the first leg. I don't know. Since it is Zagreb, maybe we'll have it done by then, and the second leg won't be very exciting, but I'd still rather show that than the Benfica one, probably. So, unless we win like 8-0. If we win like 8-0, I'll show Porto Benfica, but probably going to be Porto Zagreb. If you got 10 to 15 minutes after this episode is done, which is going to be very soon, about over. If you got 10 to 15 minutes to kill, like I said in the beginning, definitely watch that Bills-Chiefs game. The highlights put out by the NFL on YouTube. It's in the description. Definitely check that out. If you have any interest in American football, the greatest game I have ever watched. And that's no hyperbole. Everyone on Twitter, everyone that's been watching this game longer than I have has said the same thing. Just unbelievable. Just an unbelievable game. Not a great end to the episode. It started off amazing. 4-1, but then 4-0. But like I said, when the match happened, you can't put much stock into that game. It's like our 5-0 was a fluke. That was a fluke. They're not 4-0 better than us. Not even close. So, that's going to be it, though. Unfortunate end, but that's going to be how we end the episode. If you made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials and my Twitch are in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.